demolition they had to do. Maybe I show them how they're gonna put it all back together. So I talked about that a little bit in the beginning, what we plan on doing. I contacted 4 bidders in the beginning. Our bid set was, I think, 16 sheets, and our spec book was about that thick. And so it was thoroughly done. I tried to contact as many bidders as I could, but as Dennis said, they're all very busy right now. It's very hard to get contractors to bid work, especially one of this scope. There's a lot of work here, there's a lot of labor here. I got 4 who would commit, 4 qualified contractors, and I got 2 bids from them. And one of the bids, he couldn't do the work all at once, he'd have to do it over 3 years. And he was actually more expensive. The contractor, well, I'll talk a little bit more about the COCA that Dennis mentioned too. COCA stands for Construction Observation and Construction Administration. And so once we bid the job and we have a contractor we want to work with, I write the contract between you and the contractor, and then I provide the administration of that contract by going to the construction site, observing what they're doing, making sure that what we designed and what we specified is actually built the way we want it done. And so, and when I get the monthly pay request from the contractor, I certify that yes, this has all been done, this is all accurate, or at least the material's been bought, it's been stored on site. We keep track of every nickel. The next pay request, what I do is I do the same thing, but along with that, I require a complete waiver of lien for all the money that was spent the prior month. And so we keep track of things like that all the way through to make sure the job's run correctly. And like right now, we're doing it down here at the bank. It's a really big job. There's a lot going on, but we track every nickel. So that brings us to the point of the contractor. The contractor that submitted the lowest bid and is qualified to do the work, he believes he can do this project in 1 year. He can start it in the fall after Labor Day. He's gonna bring up a huge crew, because this is mostly a labor job. There's a lot of labor in this. There's a lot of product, but there's a lot of labor. And he can have all the construction done by the spring. He wants to get the bad buildings done first, the southern and western elevations first, where we have to open up the building envelope and build it back out before winter comes. And then he'll have crews up here doing the other elevations, throughout the winter. Come spring, he'll be all done with that, and then he'll be ready to do painting. So by time a year from now, probably quite a bit earlier than now, when you come back, everything will be done. And I've mentioned there's one more reason that you do have to face this, other than the fact that the longer you wait, the more decay there's going to be, the more damage there's going to be, the more expensive it's going to be. But right now, construction, unless there's some huge change in the economy, construction is growing at 15% per year. So if you wait till next year to do it, automatically going to be 15% and there's going to be more damage. And so you're in a really tight, tough situation right now.
15% or
15%. Yeah, 15.
50%.
No, it's not that bad. Yeah. So that sort of concludes my position. I'm sorry?
Who's the builder?
The builder is Ben Fedek, Harborview Custom Builders. I've done projects with him in the past. He does both residential and commercial work. He is a true general contractor where he has actual employees. It just isn't a construction manager, which a lot of contractors are today. They just sub out everything. I've met with Ben a couple of times on this, and his price for this is, and then I'm gonna hand this over to Jim, because there's different ways that this can be done according to Ben, and he's been very forthright about how he can do this project. But the one thing that he's really requiring is that in order for him to commit his whole force to this project to be done less than a year from now, he has to have a commitment from you by August 1st. Was that correct? Is that the date? Yeah.
Actually, you started out at 7/15.
Yeah,
July 15.
you pushed him back a bit, because the reason for that is, everybody's busy up here and they want to stay busy, and there's a lot of work out there, tremendous amount of work for the people who are here to do it, who survived the crash of 08, 09. And he's going to take other work. He wants this job, because that means he can keep his whole crew working right through the winter in one place. It really simplifies his life. But at the same time, he's not going to sacrifice the opportunity to do other work, and neither would any of us, you know, unless there's a commitment. You know, and his drop dead date is August 1st. And the price tag for this whole thing is everything included, which Dennis talked about earlier, the windows, everything that's in line, the painting of the other buildings, and lots of other stuff I suspect Jim would talk about, is $1.6 million. So, and with that, I'll give it to Jim.
No, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Hey, Mark, just really quick, you said paging is the last thing that the guy would do. But if we're using cement for it, this doesn't require it.
No, it actually does. It requires a final coat, and all cut ends have to be painted when it's installed, and it requires one more over top of it to get the 25-year warranty, whatever it is. But, and there's other trims too that will have to be messed up. But we'll get to that in the Q&A session, okay?
Okay, thank you.